definitely need to get a new gimbal. A little better. We'll just sit here and enjoy the view until people show up, because I didn't tell anybody I was going live. But we are sitting in Fairview Park for the time being, and what we're going to do is go walk downtown and see what's new going on downtown. But before we do that, we're going to walk over here to where they're redoing this playground and check it out. So I'm just going to turn this around and I hope anyway. There we go. I know I haven't done a live stream in a while. I've just been doing my morning sunrise videos. They I actually get more views on them, whether they're a small amount of views or not, on TikTok. It always hits close to 200 views, but according to TikTok, people are only watching less than 20 seconds of it. So at least you watch some of it. But it's not like I just kind of start out with showing the sunrise. I get on there and say a little bit of stuff, let you know what the weather's doing. But I come to this park a lot because it's probably the only place I have a good signal, as long as I stay in the main part of the park. But hopefully, once I start walking downtown, I don't lose any signal. Got a couple of squirrelies out here. What you doing, buddies? They don't seem too scared. Maybe people are feeding them or something. I had one kind of staring at me a while ago, like it was like, "What are you doing?" Or, "Do you have any food?" No, I don't. And what I'm doing is none of your business. You know, ever since I redid the sewer part of this construction through this park, man, you could smell it. It's nasty. Maybe it's because we just haven't had enough rain to kind of wash things away, but it sure stinks. But we're gonna come over here and take a look at this playground, see what's going on. And then we'll start heading downtown. We'll get some miles in today. A lot of squirrels out. What are you doing, babies? Huh? What are you doing? I probably should have mowed one last time, but I don't feel like it. We got a mole in my backyard and he's really screwed up the entire backyard. But as you can see, some of this is supposed to represent exercise equipment. Well, it looks like they're going to put in some, I don't know, maybe some horseshoes or something. I don't know what that's going to be, unless they're going to put in some, I forgot what they call that. But anyway, there's what they put in so far for people to enjoy. And it looks like they're going to put a bottom row of rock, and then who knows what's going to go over that. But they're going to have to put something soft in it, so if somebody falls off there, they don't get hurt or hurt too badly. And there's some kind of a climbing thing right there. But they still got more work to do on it. And I wonder if that's going to be like a volleyball thing over there. Anyway, let's start walking downtown. Check out what's going down there. It's been a while since I walked around downtown. Now I do know that they have a new solar cover parking area they put in front of the Civic Center. I don't know if it's just dealing with the Civic Center only for the solar. We'll walk through Millikan University. But I don't know, I may do these sunrise videos. My voice is getting a little dry. Should have brought some water. I forgot. I rushed out of there. Forgot my hat, forgot some water. And anyway, I may just do these sunrise videos to about the end of the month, and then I'll stop doing that until warm weather comes back again. But this is only being broadcasted on YouTube. It said something about it couldn't do it on Facebook. It is warm today. It is 21 degrees Celsius, which is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. It is nice and sunny and blue skies. I don't see any clouds whatsoever today. I don't know, maybe this is our Indian summer or something. The Japanese ladybugs are out, and my house was basically bombarded by millions of them. And according to what I read, they only are alive for 30 to 90 days. So I have to put up with them while it's warm. Not bad. All kinds of squirrels out here. They don't really run away too much. They just kind of stand there. But I assume the reception's good. I can't see my screen because it's so bright out. So I'll wait on this car. And as you can see, the leaves are changing. And it's no longer summer. Plus I got that privacy thing on my phone so people can't see it from the side. And I've actually had to turn up my backlight, which sometimes isn't good because then your battery will run down faster. I'll have to edit that out. I don't know if I want to walk downtown, but we'll see. We'll see how far I go. I don't have anybody watching that I could see. So I'm just going to turn this around. There we go. And you can look at me for a few minutes because we got some people up here. And pointed up here, and I just don't want to get them on film. So the crosswalk I was walking through, people are supposed to stop. Luckily I made it across, but when I got to the other side, they felt they needed to honk. Don't know if they honked just because I'm holding this in my hand or because I was walking across the street. I don't really care, but that's why I yelled. I probably shouldn't have said anything. But I can't see the screen for two reasons. The sun is the main thing. And the second reason is because of the screen protector that I have on here is one of those private screen protector things. So I'll just turn this around now for me. Well, we are walking down West Main Street. And I don't know how far down it goes until you hit East Main Street. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Downtown is East Main Street. But this cross street coming up is Oakland, and they used to have Oak Fest up here, and they didn't have it this year. Some month or something like that. It's always the weekend that it rains, but we haven't been getting much rain. And now see, if they would have held it, then everything would have been okay. But I think it got stopped this year, and it may not probably go on anymore, but I went to it a couple of times. In fact, I think I even played it when I was in a band. It might have been the first or second year of it. It's been so long that I don't remember. I'm not much of a musician anymore. I gave that life up. So yeah, but my screen is pretty dark. At the moment. I had one of my subscribers ask me if I would hit more streets, more brick streets. But you got to understand one thing about this area of town, that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. And there's the winery for those of you who used to live here and don't anymore. Yes, it's still around. Still serving up their winery burgers. I've only had them twice. The first time it was pretty good. Second time I just don't think the person knew what they were doing. And that's when I had them with my wife. She had them for the first time. She wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with them on the second time. But I guess if you're a little drunk, it doesn't matter how they taste. It's food. Maybe that's why I liked it the first time. A lot of this housing along here, they try to rent out to Millikan students. I actually used to live in a house up here on the second floor with my brother. anyway, it was that yellow house over there. I lived up on the second floor for a few months. Is the bike trail part, and then we have a sidewalk over there. But you're not supposed to park across the sidewalk, but people don't care, and of course the cops aren't going to do anything. And then they added these things in the middle of the road. There is kind of a makeshift roundabout. And the next, I don't know, 2 blocks maybe, 3 blocks, 1 block, I don't know. But as you can see, they block it anyway. It looks like you might be having transmission issues or something. And as far as I don't know what he's got hanging underneath there. As far as the city didn't do anything about that. And so everybody just walks on the bike trail anyway. But we have a historical home coming up here. It's the Milliken Homestead, where James Milliken had lived while he was alive. It still has the original stables to the house. And that would be that house right there. When we get up here, we'll see a better picture of it. We get out of these trees. I also had lived in another house up here on the second floor with a friend of mine for a few months. It was a pretty cool apartment. But anyway, there's the James Milliken Homestead. And there's the house is on the other side. Like right there is I always forget that guy's, a famous designer. I always forget his name, but anyway, he designed that home. There's actually a couple of them there, maybe 3. And he also designed those lights where you come into their drive. And they used to have a statue down here. I can't remember if it was him or who it was. What we got here, this is new. So, getting there from here, the roadside, this wayside exhibits of West Main Street. It was one of the main routes into and out of the city of Decatur all during the time. So as you know, Macon County and Decatur was a big hub back in the 1800s, not hundreds, when Abraham Lincoln was alive and was president. He and when he was a lawyer, he would come here many times and do his thing. Anyway, there used to be a statue right along in here, and it might have been right here. And I'm not sure if it was the statue of Stephen Decatur, which I think it might have been, or one of James Milliken, but I'm thinking it was Stephen Decatur. But this is our makeshift roundabout right here, and that I know of, the only one in this town. But still, a lot of these houses need to be repaired and brought back to their original life. And there's a funny story about this little house right here. This little house right here used to sit on the corner down there. And I watched them raise that house and put a mess load of wheels under it and drag it down here. I had a lot of I can't even say the word. People watching them move that house. Because, you know, a lot of things don't happen in this town, and something like that, it got people's attention. But some of these homes are haunted. So it's very weird that this is going on. So we're just going to turn this around until it's time to walk. Sorry, I got it too close to my face. I don't want people complaining because I'm filming them without their permission. So we will start heading across. And I'll turn the camera back around. And this house on the corner up here, I'm sure when it was first built, it was somebody's home, and then it turned into a funeral home. Then the funeral home moved out, and the people turned into a bed and breakfast. And I heard that when they went up into the attic to check it out, there was a coffin sitting up there. I'm sure they removed it. I don't know why this thing does that. Keeps telling me I got a bad network. That house over there is what you would call a shotgun house. So if you don't know what a shotgun house is, that means your front door and your back door can be seen from either side. And if you shot a gun, you'll go from one door out the other. And that's why they call it a shotgun house. But over there is a lot of those brick roads that my subscriber probably wanted me to show them, but I already got those filmed. I know we can walk on it again, but like I said, this neighborhood isn't all that greatest anymore. So yeah, it's one of those things you just got to kind of watch out. Of course, I'll just say this real quick. A vote for Harris is a vote for communism. That's all I got to say for that. And of course, down the road there, we have several churches. As you can see, they're falling apart. There's one there. There's one down on the other corner. And then further on down. This actually used to be full of different denominations. But because the United States is kind of falling away from God, people are going to church less and less. But I don't think it's the fact that people are falling away from God. I think it's just the fact that people just don't like the tithing thing. But you have to look at it this way. The government doesn't fund churches. And so somebody has to pay for the upkeep of those buildings. You know, they have an electric bill and a water bill just like you and I do, and they have to pay their minister and anybody else who is on their pay, and so now you know why that you do that. Now back in the 1980s, where the Salvation Army is sitting now, there used to be, I think, several buildings right here, but one of them was the Main Street Liquor. If you're from Decatur and don't live here anymore, you'll remember that. We also have this iconic gas station that somebody had remodeled, and a lot of people get their picture taken here. And I think if you want your car up in there, then you got to get a hold of I think the city or somebody, so they can remove the chain to allow you to pull your old car in there and take some pictures and stuff like that. But you have all different kinds of things in here. There's the, oh, they moved out. Okay. Well, anyway, you got a hearing place. You have in fact, I think that barber shop moved out too. And anyway, you got the Happy Hut. And that board night is, I don't know if they're still there or not, but if you like playing board games, that's what they do in there. And as you can see again, there's a church here and a church over there and all kinds of churches on this street as well. Of course, this is Church Street, so there's many churches on this road. This building right here, back in the day, used to be I don't want to call it a laundromat. I forgot the words. Anyway, it was the whole thing. And dry cleaners. They were a huge company. Started by a couple of brothers, and then one sold out to his brother, and he made it successful until, you know, over time things went to crap. So, but different places have been moving in here and fixing it up, and making them into restaurants and dance studios and all different kinds of things. Some things have moved in and moved back out because of the way the economy is. This here is a cafe that moved into there. It used to be a brewery, and then they moved to a different spot downtown, and now it is the River Coffee Company, which I have not had their coffee. And if you see this building right here, painted on the side of it is the Decatur Staleys, which is now the which is the Chicago Bears now. This is where Abraham Lincoln's courthouse sat back in the 1800s. And you will see a lot of his statues and pictures and stuff like that. And this is, we are standing at Main and Main Street, and right here in the center of this road is where the transfer house used to sit. And of course, where I'm standing used to be part of the road at that point. And we get over to the transfer house, there should be pictures over there of where it sat and what it looked like back in the day. And we'll take a peek at that. Over the years, people have come down here and paint murals to try to kind of give the town a little bit more color. But as you can see, that mural there, the Decatur Staleys, aka the Chicago Bears. This building at one time was a bank. I don't remember the name of the bank. It's kind of changed hands over the years. As you can see, Wells Fargo advisors are in there. Next to it was the Orlando Hotel, which is now the Orlando Apartments for the elderly. And I think some of the stuff in there is still original from the day. So we're going to turn here, and it looks like they're redoing this Flora Gems building. So we're heading down North Water Street now. And of course, this bank had changed to Busey Bank. It was a different name when it started. And we'll come down here to Central Park. Some of these businesses are no longer here. Some of them are barely hanging on. I'm kind of saddened that Con Furniture is closing down. That's where we buy our furniture from. And now we're going to have to find another store that we like their furniture, because all these big name brands are too expensive and we don't care for half of what they have. So anyway, we'll come down here, and if you watch my channel, you'll see that I had went to some shows here in Central Park. This is probably about the third or fourth fountain that they put in here. And there is our symbol of Decatur, the transfer home or house or whatever you would like to call it. But I think they took down all the, well, here we go. We got a little plaque here on the side. We'll look at it. It's been around since 1895, so let's get a pan down here. So in 1892, we used to have this one here, a little square building, and then they made this. So as you know, I was probably standing about right here. I'll get my camera down. I was probably standing about right here when I started talking about this. So yeah, they had, all this was the road. And as you can see over the days that, over the years, that it changed, and it was still around in the 1950s. In 1962, they decided to retire it and move it to where it is now. And that street is now a one-way street south. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, but there's the inside of it. I think that probably, I don't think that would have been the ticket booth, but they might have just had a counter in there for people to go up to buy a ticket. But it got moved here, and it will pretty much stay here. And as you can see, they still got at least one picture on here. But they had redone this park, and they added these things right here and the steps, and made it look really nice. Yeah, I think this is like it's like the third. When I was here, it was like a bowl, and they decided to change it. They need to have somebody come and clean it up. And I remember when they put this thing in, somebody went up there and put some soap in it, and I think they put some dye in there or something and really messed it up. And it cost a lot of money to get it fixed. But this building here is new, and I want to say this is where Carson Perry Scott was, but I'm not quite sure. It's been so long, but I think that's where they were, was right here. And then of course down the street here was Kate's Merchandise. There's actually a lot of underground tunnels underneath where we're walking. People don't know that, but there is. When I used to work at Mueller, it had a tunnel that went underneath the road to get to the other side of the other building. But you also had a bridge that went over that you could do the same way. Well, that was more for forklifts and stuff like that. But down in the basement part of Mueller, there was a huge cafeteria to feed their employees. And you had to go down into that tunnel to get to it. Yeah, so back there is where Carson's Perry Scott was, and in this grassy area, this is where Kate's Merchandise was, along with them being across the street as well. This parking lot here, I remember when this old building was here and it had caught on fire, and there was a lot of people watching it burn and firemen trying to get it out and stuff, and of course they just knocked it down and built a parking lot. Generally what Decatur does. And in this corner part is the Decatur Brew Works, and Thursday nights they have karaoke in there. This place on the corner, when I was a lot younger, used to house making music, and this is where I had bought my trumpet when I was in grade school. And then it turned in, and they went out of business. It turned into a restaurant, and they were like a high dollar restaurant. And of course, being in this town and it's kind of diminishing, it kind of vanished. People couldn't afford it. Decatur, like a lot of other cities, is on the decline. Due to the way the economy is. And my screen is black, so if you're in here, you said something, I can't see it. So, hi if you showed up. If you came in for a small smidgen, just to see what was going on. Hi, bye. But there is a Thai restaurant next to this place here. I do not know if they are still open. Let's see, how long have I been doing this? 53 minutes. So for 53 minutes, I think I saw one person pop in. I'm sure everybody else would just watch this later, and they probably won't watch the whole thing. That building over there on the corner, that is the, oh shoot, died. That is the Masonic Temple. They were going to knock it down, but there are people trying to stop them from doing that. So I don't know if they're looking for a buyer of that to renovate it, because the city just wants to knock everything down. As you can see, here is a church right here, and then on down there are several other churches. That's what I get for not looking down where I walk. That actually kind of hurt. And then, of course, that's a church right there. I do not know if they are still open or not. So we're going to start heading back. And I don't know if I'll film started, but the rest of the way I will not film. I don't know where my battery is on this, the percentage wise. This used to be the YWCA, or YMCA, I mean, not the YMCA, and then it kind of turned into both of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't end up knocking this down. For too long, people are breaking the glass. Nothing's in it now. And it's just basically falling apart. So I wouldn't be surprised within 5 years, the city will just knock it down. I remember when this building was a bank, because right here is where the drive-through was. Of course, if I ever get the balls up to go walk through the Greenwood Cemetery, which is straight ahead, I'll do that. It is a haunted cemetery. There was an area back there that they used to, it was the hanging tree, and they chopped that down. I think there used to be a road that went by it, and I think they took that road out and grassed it all out. It's been so long that I haven't been back there, so I don't remember. Like I said, Decatur is declining if you don't work a factory life. Then there's not too much else to do here that pays a decent wage. My screen is pretty much dark. I can't see anything on it. I'm sure I'm still rolling. I can barely see a picture. But I'm actually very colorful and would stand out in the crowd today. I have blue tennis shoes on, red pants, and a tie-dye. So everybody probably thinks I'm crazy or gay, one of the two. But on the front side of my shirt, it says it's all about Jesus. Of course, like I said, in this neighborhood, if anybody attacks me, they're going to get a gimbal up their butt. It's been a pretty nice walk. I don't know how many miles I walked or how many steps I took, but I sure as hell took a lot, and I will look on my app on my phone. It will tell me. Come on, light. Thank you. Of course, the one good thing about me filming, if anybody tries anything, I'll have evidence of it. So I may just end up, when I get down here by Milliken Homestead, just stop the live stream. And I feel like I've kind of walked this walk by myself. Maybe people will watch it once it's posted. This is why I don't do too many live streams. Even if I gave notice on it, very little people show up. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, John McKee's World. And TikTok at J McKee. Sorry about that, my wife was trying to call me. So I get up here to this tree. I'm just gonna stop the live stream. Anyway, let me turn this around. Anyway, I'm sorry if this thing kind of went out, in and out, in and out. It's the reason why I don't do a lot of live streaming. And if you showed up, thank you for showing up. Thank you for even watching later on. And maybe we'll do this again. Have a good day, everybody.